A friend from Shenyang told me about this little red sports car he'd been meaning to fix for years, but work got in the way, so he let it sit. Now he wants to let it go. He showed me some photos, offered it cheap. I saw those pop-up headlights and thought, why not? I had to go check it out myself. It was a 700-kilometer trip, and I took my old white car. It's already got over 100,000 kilometers on it. I added some fuel cleaner to keep it running smooth along the way. The weather was great, so I hit the road hoping for a safe journey. Before leaving, I learned this red car was actually an 80s Mazda 929 replica. After a long drive, I finally arrived. Greeted my buddy with a handshake, so good to see him. When I got there, the car was sitting in the yard. We talked. He said most of the parts were still there, even the taillights. But looking closer, it was rough. No rear windshield, the driver's door handle was missing. Luckily, at least the original taillights had survived. On the trunk, there was a broken bumper, just thrown on top, kind of annoying. Inside it was a mess, super dirty, a spare tire, and a few scattered parts. But overall, no major damage, nothing totally wrecked. Then we checked the engine. I guessed it might be fuel injected. We popped the hood, and wow, it definitely needed some love. Straighting. At first, I thought it had a fuel-injected or maybe a rotary engine, classic Mazda stuff. But then I saw it had a Santana engine, which made no sense. Mazda and VW? No way. Turns out the owner had swapped in a different engine, but kept the original transmission. All right, got it. I'll figure out how to fix this later. Oh, and the front windshield? Totally smashed. There were random parts everywhere, tracks, rails. It all felt a bit lonely and forgotten. I came all this way, and this is what I got. It's tough, but honestly, that's the joy of it. The original engine was broken, so the owner swapped in a basic Santana engine. But guess what? The original rotary engine was still there, just sitting off to the side. The trunk was packed with parts. The starter, alternator, fan, and other engine bits, all just tossed in there. I opened it up to see what else was hiding. Radiator fan, starter motor, small pieces, a whole mix. Since I came all this way, I couldn't leave empty-handed. At 8,000 yuan per ton, I spent 18,000 yuan and finally took home this little red. We started loading everything up, gave it a good blow-off. In the Northeast, if you wash a car, it freezes right away, so blowing off the dust was the way to go. The whole body was covered in dirt. We carefully packed up all the parts, piece by piece, figuring out where each one belonged. Some parts didn't quite fit, but they were all vintage. You could tell the owner really loved cars. He had saved tons of old parts and gave them all to me in the end. I was so grateful. We loaded everything up, no holding back. I even spent extra on a flatbed truck to bring it home safely, about 5,000 yuan. It was freezing out there, but riding back on the truck felt way more reassuring than driving. We moved slowly. This old machine was fragile. Before loading the car, we placed the engine up front, padded underneath to keep it safe, and strapped it down tight. Once that was secure, we backed the car onto the truck. Going in reverse was the only way it would fit. In no time, everything was ready. And finally, we ended the day with a happy photo together, the perfect send-off. All right, Time to bring this little red fighter home. The flatbed was slow, taking all night. We didn't arrive until 6 a.m. I was exhausted just riding along. Imagine the driver staying up the whole night behind the wheel. Truly grateful for his effort. Finally, we unloaded the engine and he could finally rest. But for me, the real work was just beginning. I knew so many friends online were waiting to see this car come back to life. So I had to move fast. First, I emptied all the parts inside to see exactly what we had and what didn't belong. The previous owner claimed everything was there, but it was a huge, messy pile. Just looking at it gave me a headache. Now it was time to sort piece by piece, slowly but surely. So much work ahead. The car was way too dirty. I had to wash it first before even thinking about fixing anything. After a quick wash, it looked so much better. Looking at the engine, it was clear it hadn't started in ages. Finally, I got the battery in place, step by step, bringing it back to life. Cirrus 7P. I sorted out the wires, hoping to finally start it up. It was still filthy, so I laid down a cloth before getting in. Tried to fire it up, nothing. Warning lights popped on, the hazard lights kept flashing, and the turn signals didn't work. Even the headlights were acting up. This was going to take more than just a quick fix. The right headlight worked fine, but the left one had issues. It wouldn't shut off. Problems were stacking up, and I had to tackle them one by one. Turns out, the starter was completely dead. Luckily, I had a brand new one in my stash. I quickly installed it, checked the oil, all good. Now it was finally time to try starting it up again. Turned the key. Nothing. Tried again. There, a spark of life. One more time. Almost. It finally fired up, just for a moment, giving me a glimpse of hope. That little roar was enough to keep me going. But just as I felt hopeful, reality hit me hard. The wiring was a total mess. So frustrating. I checked a loose connector thinking maybe that was it. Tried again. Spark. Finally it caught. We had fire. Time to put it all back together and call in the boss to check it out. Finally, it started up, no problem. It was alive. Now time to really get to work and fix it up right. But there was still an issue with one of the lights. Was it the motor, the wiring, or just stuck? Either way, we had to dig in and figure it out. Just keep going. We tested the headlight stuck at first, but finally it popped up. Turned it off, tried again, it worked. Front lights, fixed. Fuel leak, also fixed. We even added a new filter. Step by step, this old fighter was coming back to life. Hit the gas nice. The engine sounded great, really solid. Time for a quick test drive. Let's see what this little red fighter can do on the road. Osterich. It still kicked a little sometimes, but this red pop-up headlight sports car from the 80s was finally running. There's still a lot of detail work left: the engine, hood, seals, and glass. But for now, it's alive again, and that's a win. All right, let's keep pushing forward together. Yesterday, I posted a video about this Mazda 929 Coupe, and the comments blew up. People thought I was slipping. They expected me to restore it with the original engine. But here's the thing. The previous owner had already swapped in the Santana engine because the original Rotary was done for. Sometimes, you work with what you've got. If the original engine had been fine, the owner would have fixed it himself, right? It was totally shot. We're actually ordering parts from overseas now. So for now, I did a quick fix to get it moving, cleaned up the hood, the roof, and planned to refresh the whole body. I didn't want to make everyone wait forever. We're working hard to get that original Rotary running again and back in the car. I've always loved these pop-up headlights. 4 of them. Such a cool look. This car is a front-engine, rear-wheel drive, just like the Porsche 944 sitting next to it. Big round headlights, both from the 80s. Absolute classics. That's why I had to get one. I just love it. It's like I always say, there's no car we can't fix. With patience, learning, and real effort, any car can be brought back to life. After all, cars are built by people, so we can always restore them. It's all about time and parts. Thank you all for the support. I'll keep working hard on these old rides. Let's keep pushing forward together. Let's go!